let's start. Multiple choice questions. First, listen, there is bhashan. What happens in multiple choice questions? There are 3 options, 1 question, and they will speak about all 3 options, right? What do? They will speak about one option which is correct, and mostly the option which is correct, for that they use more and more synonyms. The options which are incorrect, they usually use them in the same way, but they only add one word, sometimes not. Sometimes we considered, sometimes we thought. The rest of the option is almost same. So the answers which are wrong, usually those options which are wrong, they use them in the same language, but only they make them negative, or they do we considered, we wanted, we thought. Whenever they say we thought, we considered, or they will speak about one option and then they say that didn't work. Or then they say that was not possible either. Anything like that. So instead of looking for the right answer, look for the wrong answer. Eliminate 2 wrong options and you will be left with the right answer. Now how to do? First, when they give you time to read the questions quickly, you can read the main question. Why has James chosen to do a case study on the company Furniture Rossi? Now underline why, it means reason. Case study on Furniture Rossi. Now Furniture Rossi is a furniture company and James has chosen to do the case study on that. Why means reason. Over here options are short, but we do have some long options also. So I will tell you how to just summarize these options. A. Now, I'm not going to read it like this. A, it has enjoyed global success. Just underline enjoyed global success. Right? And then underline still in developmental phase. And then underline example of foreign company. Is that clear? Now, I will not read it like A, it has enjoyed global success. B, it is still in a development. Not like that. Just see what is the main thing. And by the way, in multiple options, A, B, C, the words or phrases which are being repeated, like it is, don't read them. Just see what other things are. Now, actually, we have to find the reason why James chose Furniture Rossi for his case study. Is it it? Now, you have one important thing. What do they mean by it? No, not case study. It means Furniture Rossi. It means the company actually. Yeah, so it goes back to Furniture Rossi. Now, basically, option A is Furniture Rossi enjoyed global success. Option B is Furniture Rossi still in developmental phase. Option C is Furniture Rossi example of foreign company. Now, if they say they have set up their business in other countries, then this is the answer. And if they say they are planning to set up their business in other countries, then this is not the answer, right? Another important thing, they will speak about all 3 options in any order. Any order means it's not first A, then B, then C. They might start from C, then they come to A, then they go to B. Sometimes it can be A, B, C, sometimes B, A, C, sometimes C, A, B, sometimes C, B, A. So you should identify which option is being discussed as well. Only if they had given A, B, C in order, multiple choice questions could be 70 times easier than this, right? But anyways, I play the audio now and you will focus why means reason.
You will hear a student discussing his case study with his tutor.
Well, James, I've had a look over your case study and for a first draft, it looks promising.
I have to be honest, when you told us we had to write about a furniture company, it didn't sound like the kind of thing that would interest me. But since then, I've changed my mind.
Why's that?
Well, as you know, Furniture Rossi is an Australian company, still comparatively small compared to some of the high street stores, but it's got plans to expand into foreign markets, so I chose it for that reason. It's going through a transition. It's a family-run business aiming to build a global brand.
All right.
C. How many of you say C? Very good. How many of you say B? हाथ खड़ा करें जरा तबीयत सही है हाँ B. How many of you say A? कोई तो कह देना हाँ ए एक ही है ए अकेला right B is the right answer I tell you why I'll play the audio again don't worry okay मैं इसी को ही दोबारा चलाऊंगा इसकी छोटी बहन नहीं आएगी अभी यही आएगी okay don't worry I'll play the same lady yeah now you cannot say पहले ते कुछ और कह रही सी it's not there same audio same lady yeah now listen please the first thing you need to note down the order in which they spoke that is CBA C is number 1 B is number 2 order in the audio and A is sorry it's CAB sorry C is number 1 A is number 2 and B is number 3 अब C के साथ 1 लिख लें A के साथ just write 2 and with B you can write 3 now I play it again please listen
You will hear a student discussing his case study with his tutor.
Well, James, I've had a look over your case study, and for a first draft, it looks promising.
I have to be honest. When you told us we had to write about a furniture company, it didn't sound like the kind of thing that would interest me. But since then, I've changed my mind.
Why's that?
Well, as you know, Furniture Rossi is an Australian company.
Okay, Furniture Rossi is an Australian company. What is the option? Example of foreign company being rebranded for Australia. It's not a foreign company. It's an Australian company. समझ आई बात? Yeah, they say foreign company being rebranded for Australia. Company किसी और country की है, rebrand कर रही है Australia के लिए. But he said Australian company. So first you will actually cross C. ठीक हो गया? Yeah, now what she did, Australia, mummy uthi jana hai, yeah, correct, right answer, Australia ko likh do. This is how they do blindly, without understanding, okay? Now let's go on, thoda dobara sune.
It didn't sound like the kind of thing that would interest me. But since then, I've changed my mind.
Why's that?
Well, as you know, Furniture Rossi is an Australian company, still comparatively small compared to some of the high street stores, but it's got plans to expand into foreign market.
It's got plans to expand into foreign markets, A wale bhai, right? It's got plans. Now it is actually, what is option A? It has enjoyed global success. ठीक है? So, I mean, they have plans to go into foreign market. तो global success कैसे enjoy करेंगे? अभी globally गए ही नहीं. So the second wrong option is A. ठीक हो गया? Yeah, exactly. Next one is B. Now they will talk about it. अब जरा सुनिएगा गौर से.
So I chose it for that reason. It's going through a transition.
It's going through a transition. Still in a developmental phase. Listen.
It's a family-run business aiming to build a global brand.
Aiming to build a global brand. It's not a global brand, but they are aiming. So it is still in developmental phase. Developmental phase के लिए क्या word आया? Transition. Clear? Right? Now B is the right answer. Let's go on. And एक चीज और बता रहा हूँ जब खुद से practice करनी है with multiple choice do it like this. Even if you don't understand go to the end of the book audio script पढ़ना है समझना है why 2 answers are wrong once you realize the wrong answers your answer will never be wrong. What we do we focus the right answer. Right? हम ये देख रहे होते हैं ये आंसर सही है ऑस्ट्रेलिया का वर्ड आया लगा दो ठीक है okay. Let's go on 22. According to James, why did Luca Rossi start a furniture business? Now again reason. Why Luca Rossi start furniture company? Why Luca Rossi start furniture company? Very simple. 3 reasons are given. Okay, option A. Furniture making was already a family occupation. Underline furniture making family occupation. That's it. Now for multiple choice questions you need skim reading. You don't need careful reading or everything. Option A, furniture making was already a family occupation. Option B, and then they say you now have time to look at questions 21 and answer. Yeah, and then you say, मैंने तो भी एक ही पढ़ा है. ऐसे नहीं करना, ठीक है? Skim reading. Skim reading means to read quickly, underlining the word. So option A is family occupation. What do we use for that? Family business. कुछ लोग कहते हैं सारा family business है, okay? All right. Option B. Rossi saw a need for handcrafted furniture. Need and handcrafted furniture. For handcrafted, they can use the word handmade. Okay? And option C, Yeah, work Rossi had done previously was unrewarding. So just underline unrewarding work. Unrewarding work means कि उससे पहले वो कोई और जॉब करता था, उससे उसको फायदा नहीं होता था, उसने कहा फर्नीचर कंपनी बना लो. अनरिवॉर्डिंग वर्क, ये तो अनरिवॉर्डिंग जॉब कि आपने काम किया, फायदा कुछ भी नहीं, राइट? Okay, now I'm going to play this audio. And again, according to James, why did Luca Rossi start a furniture company? Two wrong options out of ABC, and only one is right. Let's see what do they say.
And you've made that clear in your writing. One thing, though, that I think you've overlooked is why Luca Rossi started a furniture company here in Australia in the first place.
Well, he'd just got an arts degree, hadn't he? And people were trying to talk him into an academic profession, but he wanted a practical job, something he thought would be more satisfying in the long run. His grandfather had been a craftsman, he'd made furniture in Italy, and he'd passed this skill on to Luca's father. And, well, Luca thought he'd like to continue the tradition.
Yes, that was the motivation behind his decision.
Luca thought he'd like to continue the tradition. Tradition क्या था? उसका बाप. Exactly. Family occupation. Uska baap and all that. And he thought he'd like to go on with this thing. Now, why C is wrong? Work Rossi had done previously. Previous work kya tha? Academic job thi. But they did not mention unrewarding. They said some people dragged him to this, but actually they did not mention it was unrewarding. And handcrafted furniture, Rossi saw a need. They did not talk about any need. They only talked about this handcrafted thing. Now I play the audio once again. Listen and make sure. And the order is C, B, A. First C, then B, then A. Okay, C, B, A. Let's go on.
And you've made that clear in your writing. One thing, though, that I think you've overlooked is why Luca Rossi started a furniture company here in Australia in the first place.
Well, he'd just got an arts degree, hadn't he? And people were trying to talk him into an academic profession.
People were trying to take him to academic profession, but unrewarding is not mentioned. So C is the wrong answer.
But he wanted a practical job, something he thought would be more satisfying in the long run. His grandfather had been a craftsman.
His grandfather had been a craftsman, but they did not say Rossi saw a need of handcrafted furniture. His grandfather, okay?
He'd made furniture in Italy, and he'd passed this skill on to Luca's father. Well, Luca thought he'd like to continue the tradition.
He'd like to continue the family tradition. So it's A. Now, question number 23. What gave Furniture Rossi a competitive advantage over other furniture companies? Comparative advantage means your benefit. कि आपके पास ये चीज है. Those who understand marketing and they understand what is comparative advantage. Like edge you have on other companies, right? So what gave Furniture Rossi a comparative advantage? Staff. Okay, for staff they can use the word employees. They were very loyal, right? Their loyalty or staff was very skilled, like that. Option B, lower prices. Now what is opposite of lower prices? Opposite, expensive. Or if they say their prices are standard, right? Or although their prices are not lower than any other company, so it's just like that. Option C, locally sourced products. Locally sourced products means they use the local material to make the products. Locally sourced products, right? Now, what gave them competitive edge? For example, if there is a furniture company in Sawat, you know there are many trees. So what is their competitive edge? They can have locally sourced products. They can get the material and all that stuff, right? So now let's see what is their comparative advantage, and they will speak about all three options.
And what was it, do you think, that gave Furniture Rossi a competitive edge over other furniture companies?
I wouldn't think it was price. It's always been at the higher end of the market. But according to my research, it was to do with the attitude of the employees. They were really focused on giving good customer service.
Yes, Luca Rossi insisted on that. Their promotional campaigns also emphasised the fact that the wood only came from Australian forests. But that was the case with their rivals too, so it wouldn't have made them stand out.
That was the case with their rivals too. Option C. That wouldn't have made them stand out. See that? So the right answer is A, staff. Clear? All clear? Very good. Now you understand multiple choice? Good. And again I'm telling you, when you practice alone, that is more important. With me, you will solve 5 questions. And with yourselves, you can solve 50 questions. Method is same. Right? Odd one out, wrong ones out, and then you'll find the right one. Let's go on. Question number 24. What does the tutor recommend James does when writing the second draft? Now, tutor recommend and then writing second draft case study. Second draft means the first draft, then there is a second draft, then there is a final draft. Okay? So, what does the tutor recommend for second draft? Tutor recommend means tutor suggests. Option A, provide more detailed references. Just underline more detailed references. Option B, written accuracy. What is written accuracy? No grammar mistakes. Right? No punctuation mistakes. Tenses are correct. That is what we call written accuracy. And C, his own views. For views, they use the word opinion. Don't forget to add your own opinion. Don't forget to add your personal thoughts. So personal thoughts, that is own opinion. Now what does tutor recommend? Tutor is going to recommend something for the second draft. कि ये कर लो. ठीक है? और जो बाकी 2 points हैं, tutor will say don't do them. Or they will speak about them oppositely or negatively. Let's go on.
Okay, we'll have a careful look at the content of your case study in a minute, but I just want to make a general comment first before you start writing your second draft.
Okay.
Yes, what I'd like to see more of is your opinion. A bit more critical thinking rather than the bare facts. But it's good to see you've been careful with your referencing this time.
Thanks. And I read and reread my work, so I'm pretty sure there aren't any errors with the language.
Yes, it's fine.
Yeah. Huh? Come on, not C. A. Very good. पढ़ लिया चोर. A. मैं दोबारा चलाऊंगा ऑडियो. ठीक, मुझे घूर के नहीं देखना. मैं ऑडियो दोबारा चलाऊंगा. मैं साबित करूंगा. मैंने कहा ए पढ़ लिया चोर. ऐसे देख रहा है मुझे जैसे मैं इसकी बिरयानी खा गया हूं, या मैंने इसको बिरयानी दी है बगैर बोटी के. वो भी एक जुल्म होता है. ये सबको चावल मिल रहे हैं ना, आप देखिए उसके वाले में पीस ज्यादा है. ये वंस आई थॉट लाइक दैट, लेकिन अल्लाह ताला देख रहा होता है. चावलों के नीचे ये बोटी छुपी हुई थी, ये पर्दे से बाहर निकल आई. अच्छा जी, now listen very carefully. I'm going to play this audio again. The right answer is add his views. Listen, what he has done himself, that is not the answer. What is already there, that is not the answer. The answer is whatever the tutor suggests. That will be the answer. And the order is CAB. लिख लें साइड पे CAB. CAB means first C, then A, then B. Okay, CAB. Now let's start.
Okay, we'll have a careful look at the content of your case study in a minute, but I just want to make a general comment first before you start writing your second draft.
Okay.
Yes, what I'd like to see more of is your opinion.
What I'd like to see more of is your opinion. And what is that? Add his own views. Now after this, now she's going to confuse us. What I'd like to see more of is add your opinion. So C is the right answer. Now let's see. They will go to A.
A bit more critical thinking rather than the bare facts. But it's good to see you've been careful with your referencing.
But it's good to see you being careful with your referencing. Means referencing आपकी सही है. So there is no suggestion for that. So A is the wrong option. Now they are going to talk about B. And he himself says that.
This time.
Thanks. And I read and reread my work, so I'm pretty sure there aren't any errors with the language.
There aren't any errors with the language. I'm pretty sure. Tutor is not suggesting, but he's saying I'm pretty sure there aren't any errors with the language. So written accuracy, errors with the language. Right? So A is wrong, B is wrong, C is the right answer. Okay? Good हो गया. बाल सही नहीं है? आ रहा है ये यहाँ पे सब देखता हूँ, कोई बालों को सही कर रहा है, कोई सर पकड़ के बैठा हुआ है, वो ये कोई कुछ कर रहा है, किसी को कुछ और नहीं मिलता तो नाक पकड़ के बैठ जाता है, मना करे तो क्या करे, हाँ हद हो गई है. Okay, question number 25 please. What do the tutor and James agree? Tutor and James agree. Now listen, whenever a multiple choice question is about agreement on 2 points, they are going to disagree. One will say something, other will say, no, I don't think like that. And then he gives his own view. Where they agree, point where they agree, say, okay, that's right. Or yes, I got your point. Or yes, you have the point. Or any agreement like that, that will be the right answer. So what do the tutor and James agree was wrong with James' last presentation? What was wrong with his last presentation? Option A, too short. Just underline too short. And what do they mean by it? Presentation. Well done. You should know that, okay? Presentation was too short. Now, what is the opposite of that? Too long or normal. I spoke well. I spoke for 5 minutes. Or I spoke for the time which was given. Right? Okay. Option B. Focused too much on statistics. Now, if she says you focus too much on numbers, for statistics, they can use the word numbers, tables, and all that. Right? And they agree on it. And option C. There was not enough interaction with the audience. Means eye contact. Right? If she says, you didn't even look at the audience, and he says, no, I did. I maintained good eye contact, means they don't agree. Right? If she says, your presentation was too short, say, yes, I couldn't timed it actually. Later on, I realized that, means they agree. That's what you got to see. Okay? Yeah, let's go on.
Oh, but there's one other thing I could probably mention at this point.
Yes?
Well, at the end of term, you'll also be giving a presentation, also on Furniture Rossi.
Yes. I haven't given it much thought yet.
Understandably, but while you're writing the case study, I'd recommend you think about what kind of information would be suitable to use in your presentation. Remember, the last time you gave a presentation on a company, you spent a considerable part of the time providing the audience with financial data. But they probably needed to hear more about company strategy.
Yes. I did concentrate rather too much on the figures. I'll make sure there's a balance this time.
Good.
I'll make sure there is a balance this time. And what was the word for statistics? Financial data. Financial data and statistics. Okay, that's awesome. So, now you are going to become your own teachers and you will deal with multiple choice questions like this, right?